Hi, this is Anonymous from the Masked Game Reviews. Unfortunately, I don't have the game with me because I lent it to my mate. But I can do it without the game. It's not like I'm going to be waving it about the whole time. I'm going to be doing the review on Splatterhouse just for the fact that I didn't hear a lot about it. And when I got the game, before I got the game, I wanted to find out more about it, and I didn't. I couldn't. I mean, there were these reviews, but they were kind of mixed. You got these guys who are hardcore fans and would just love the game even if it was crap and bollocks, and then you got people who not too sure, think the game's mediocre, and then you got IGN who just tore it apart and thought it was shit. I'm just going to give the review of what I thought it was like. Firstly, I'm going to say about the graphics, which people again said it was mediocre, and I thought it was actually pretty decent. I usually actually complain about games graphics quite a lot. My mates tell me it's a bad trait because I've got to get used to it, but I didn't find them really a problem. I mean, if you're playing in HD, they're fine. Even normal, I actually didn't see much of a difference. It's not going for the real look if you've seen the game at all. It's this kind of cartoony, comic-y look, and Rick actually looks pretty decent. He's got this huge build. And then when he's got all the blood all over him, the mask looks pretty good. Scenery. I mean, there's certain stuff that needs, it could do a couple of fixing up, but it's that sort of game, so it didn't really play on my mind too much. Um, story's pretty safe actually. I thought I got IGN said it was kind of normal, the same kind of thing. I mean, I haven't played the first games, but I'm guessing it's exactly the same story as the first one. And I thought the story was fine. I thought the story it was kind of an add-on for me because I wasn't expecting the story to be. It wasn't great, it wasn't brilliant, but I wasn't expecting the story to be that much of an okay story, considering what it was. I mean, it's that kind of typical nerd going out with a really hot chick, and then she gets taken. He gets mortally wounded. The mask tells him, "Put me on, and I can save your girlfriend." So he puts him on, gives him loads of power, and then you go around, beating people up. But the cutscenes are quite good, and when you're watching those, and there's just certain things in it, and there's kind of a twist. The end was a little bit disappointing. I'm not too sure if that's kind of a remake of Splatterhouse 1 or a remake of all of them. I have no idea. But I'm thinking if they're going to make it's kind of a cliffhanger, so I'm not sure if they're going to make a Splatterhouse 2 and 3. I was having doubts because, I mean, if this one didn't do too well and the reviews were pretty bad, I don't think they'll make Splatterhouse 2 or 3. Nah, that's just what I think. I mean, I'm not too sure. I mean, IGN gave it a 4, I think they did, and if you go on the website, it says that the public rated it a 7 or a 7.5, so it just goes to show that IGN's a little bit rough, a little bit tough, sorry. So yeah, secondly, I'll explain the weapons. You got a 2x4, which is a hench 2x4, more like two of them, with kind of nails at the top, and you just smack people to death with it. You got a cleaver, it's a massive cleaver, and you got a chainsaw, a baseball bat. I think that's about it. The main weapons that you'll get in the game is the chainsaw, which you get kind of halfway through the game. Chainsaw, cleaver, and the 2x4. You don't really see the baseball that much. You can also use people's body parts, so when you chop them up, you can pick up their head and smack them. They don't last long; they just blow up eventually. And you can use their arm, and eventually they just become, nothing, just blood. You got this rage mode where he goes giant spikes out of him. He's kind of like the mask takes over, it gives him unlimited power, and the room goes kind of white, so the blood gets enhanced more. And just to say, this is probably one of the goriest games I've ever played, but not in a bad way. Not the kind of if you got a weak stomach, it's fine. It's honestly fine. It's not that kind of blood, kind of Silent Hill, Saw kind of thing. There's nothing like that. It's just kind of this comic-y kind of thing, which is the whole game has. The kind of design and graphics is this comic-y kind of graphics, which is why it works quite well. So yeah, the blood's fine. It's just kind of awesome blood, especially when you get the chainsaw. That's when it really starts getting, gory. The the guy who does the voice for the mask, I think he's called Tim Cummings. Probably not the best kind of description of what he did, but he did Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, and I think either something from Mickey Mouse or Looney Tunes. I can't remember which one it is. But yeah, he does a great job. Honestly, he does a really good job of it. You get things from him all the time, really funny jokes and stuff. Really funny, really good lines. I advise you to go to options if you get the game and turn up the volume of the audio, because you can't actually. I couldn't hear what you're saying because the punching and all that, kind of overdoes it. I didn't really want to say this because when I saw loads of reviews and stuff, they were saying, oh yeah, there's heavy metal music and stuff along with it, and some people were saying, I think IGN said it was just there, and I was like thinking, and then other people were saying, how could it just be there? I thought it enhanced it actually. And I was thinking, yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan of heavy metal music, but I was thinking, heavy metal music, that while beating the crap out of people, that must be so fun. That's flipping awesome. And I don't really want to say it, and I regret to say it, but for me, it was just there. Maybe I should have taken the common sense to go to options and turn the music up as well, and maybe I would have noticed it more, because I didn't notice it. I mean, if it wasn't there, I probably would have noticed, but I just couldn't hear it that much. I was like, so I advise you to turn it up as well. But then you've got to weigh out the options, whether you can hear the mask talking or the music playing too much. But yeah, that's that. You got splatter kills, which they talked a lot about. There's only a couple of them. I don't really want to use the word repetitive, just for the fact that people play Pac-Man and Tetris all day, and no one seems to mind. You don't complain about them, you call them classics. Splatterhouse, we all knew it was going to be, if it was going to be a remake, it's not going to be an MMORPG open world game, is it? It's going to be a beat 'em up, like the first ones. I mean, the first one was a side-scrolling game. So how much more repetitive can you get? So yeah, I thought it was fine. I thought the game was actually pretty good. I thought the game was pretty decent. I picked it up for $29.99, which I'm not too happy about. I mean, I think it's $60 for you guys over in the US. It's for a brand new game. For us, it's about it's $39.99, so about 40 quid. 44 tops. So yeah, I picked it up brand new. They didn't have a second-hand copy. They said no one's bought the game and brought it back for us to have second-hand. So it obviously means no one bought it, because there was actually only one on the shelf. Not for the fact that everyone bought it, for the fact that they must have had quite a few up there, and then no one bought it, because that's what the guy said. The guy said, don't bother with it. There's no point. It's a terrible remake, and they should have just left it with the classics. And I was just thinking, yeah, well, screw you, mate, I'm getting it, because I'd seen so many stuff for it, and I just had to play the flipping game. So, I've got it. I picked it up for 29 quid. I got kind of 10-day thing, so I can bring it back within 10 days. So yeah, I'll probably do that. I mean, but I swear on my life, swear on my mum's life, if it drops under 20, I'm gonna go straight to that shop and buy it straight again, because it's such a good game. I just don't want to pay 29 quid for a game that's like that. If it was something like, Red Dead Redemption, GTA, more of a kind of gives you more, then, but I'm not paying 29 quid. I'm not paying 30 quid for a game like that. So, but if you can rent it, if you can get it cheap, if it drops down in price, which it should soon, go pick it up. Definitely, it's such a good game. It really is. I mean, even if it's not like your type of thing, if it's not your type of thing, you're not interested at all, don't get it. But if you're thinking about it, don't hesitate. Just go get it. Don't listen to the IGN and all that crap. Just get it, and if you don't like it, bring it back within 10 days. Try and get a second-hand copy, because with brand new ones, you can't bring them back if you take them out of cellophane, all that crap, all the rules they got. But yeah, really good game. I mean, there's about 8 splatter kills, which is kind of like it goes, kind of pauses time. You beat them up enough and they glow red, and then you can press B. It's on the Xbox, and then it kind of goes into this kind of, the whole room goes red, and then you kind of do certain stuff. One of them is like, you get this little goblin thing and rip its mouth apart, shove your hand down its throat, rip out its lungs, which is pretty cool. But again, it becomes the same thing. A couple of complaints about the game I've got is the loading time. People talked about that and said that was a bit annoying. I don't think it's overly. I mean, some people going over the top saying it takes about a minute to 2 minutes. That's bullshit. It doesn't take that long. It does take a while, more than you want it to. Yeah, but it's fine. It's not that bad. It's not. don't get the game because the loading takes so long, kind of bad. It kind of has this cool, at first it has this cool kind of like, shows the monsters like beating each other up and screaming all this stuff, like these feral goblin things. You're like, oh yeah, it's pretty cool, but it keeps repeating itself over and over and over again. And when you've seen that thing like 50 times, it starts getting on your nerves. And especially seeing as it, for me, I'm not sure if it happens for everyone else, but for me, it flipping glitches up. It just stops, lags, and then repeats itself, and then lags, and then repeats itself. I know it's just a loading screen, but that's really flipping annoying. Especially when you do, because they've got a couple of problems with the side-scrolling thing. Like, if it's a proper side-scrolling game, when you do jumps, they make it so it's fluent. On this, it's not so much. If you make a jump and you miss it a little bit, it won't kind of be like, alright mate, I'll push you over. You can get that little bit further. It will just go from, fuck you, let's push you off the edge, and you can go through the loading scene all over again. So yeah, that's a little bit annoying, but that's pretty much the only complaint. I'm sure I have others if I found them, but you'll find your own. But hopefully you'll like the game. So yeah, the review I'll give it is pretty much the same as the public did on IGN, about 7.5 tops. So yeah, it's a pretty good game, as I said. If you get the, if you can get the game, if you can pick it up cheap. That's all from the Masked Game Reviews. Go easy on me with the comments. It's my first time. Thanks very much.